For the future fellows, I want to tell you to let all your expectations just go, because I had a lot of expectations that ruined Brazil a little bit for me. But the moment you let it go, you will feel free and you will enjoy your time here.
I would say that a lot of people are going to tell you that this year is really hard, and it will be, but use everyone to your advantage. Like, there's the cohort, the global cohort, the TLs, anyone that works for GCY, anyone on the bus that just decides to talk to you. Confide in everyone and get advice from everyone.
To future fellows, I would recommend to not pressure yourself, but also to not live, like, basically to use every day wisely. Because sometimes you may be like, oh, I can do this later, I don't want to do it today, but then time will pass by and you wish you could have, like, you started before doing some activities or getting to know the island more or stuff like that.
So my advice to next year's fellows would be, don't be afraid to do things by yourself. I feel like I wasted so much of my year waiting on other fellows or waiting on those Brazilian friends to come and do things with me, and I missed events that I really wanted to go to. And I'm finally realizing now, in March and April, how comfortable I am doing things by myself, and it's made my experience that much richer. So don't hold yourself back by thinking you need another person to do things you really want to do.
So to all future fellows, I really recommend you guys to try cohort. It's a really great music, great people, a beautiful intimate dance, and yeah.
So what I wish I knew before coming here is that I didn't really have to have expectations about my host family, apprenticeship, or anything, because when you come here, it might be different from what you expected, and sometimes you can a bit like lose something of the experience just because you were too focused on your idea that Brazil was. But I think I wish I also knew that in September, October, November it might get like very rainy, windy and cold, so probably bring some clothes which will make you good.
Future fellows, I think that in GCY we fall often prey to this idea of success stories and failure stories. But for every success, so to speak, that you have, there's going to be 99 failures, and there's going to be 99 hard moments. And so I would say stop thinking of this year as a successful fellow or as a failure fellow, and just try to live. You don't have to enjoy it, it doesn't have to be fun, but know that ultimately it is so worth it, because the growth that the ways in which you will grow are gonna, there's no words to describe it.
Bring an eye mask, because I made the mistake not to, and I got bitten 12 times in the eyes by mosquitoes.
You don't need as many things or clothes or random things like flashlights as you think you need. It's too heavy. Leave it at home.
Hi future fellows, I have one advice for you as you are going to Brazil, and those advice I got before coming here. First of all, read literature from the country, hopefully in Portuguese as you progress in your language, and then secondly, say yes to invitation for tea, coming inside a house and have a conversation. It will be rich.
A little piece of advice I would like to give any future fellows that come to Brazil is that the bus will not stop for you. No matter how much you chase it down or call after it, it will not stop. And that's the same with your time here. It won't stop, no matter how much you chase it down. So you might as well just live it your best life.
My advice to future fellows is to have as few expectations as possible and learn to adapt, because things will not be as you expect them to be, but they are what you make them.
Mosquito repellent will be your best friend, so bring it.
Don't feel stressed out about the progression of your Portuguese. It will come as long as you're just enjoying yourself, and don't compare yourself to other people, because it's only going to stop you from having the most possible fun you can have.
Also, if you're African, you might want to bring your own braids, because they're a lot more expensive here. So, yeah.
Future fellows, make sure to soak up all the sun you can before you leave. That's what I'm doing right now. And also be safe when having coitus.
Yes.
There's a few things that I would tell the incoming new fellows. One, come with an open mind. Two, you need to take the experience. Like, don't take this experience for granted. You never know, like, when you're gonna come back here and get an experience like this. And secondly, live your best life. I mean, do it safely. Don't be doing drugs and alcohol or whatever, because you don't want to get kicked out. But still have fun. Make sure to make friends. Just don't hang out with the fellows. Make sure that you are truly immersing yourself in Brazilian culture.
If you're going through a hard time, just try to keep going, because the first half was really difficult for me, but I'm so glad that I finished out the year and I learned a lot and made a lot of good friends.
Hey guys, so one important suggestion that I would give you, because I'm a very practical person, like I know like everybody's experience is going to be different, so you deal with your experiences, but you know what you have to do? You're going to be spending a lot of time on the bus, so be prepared to bring some books or books on your phone or anything, just so you could have a lot of things to do on the bus. Yes.
I would have brought bug spray to kill cockroaches, and I would have, yeah, I know, it was a struggle, it was real. And I would have gotten more shots because I got really sick this year, so don't get sick. Don't eat fried food if you don't like fried food. Be careful with these carbohydrates. But try to reflect more, try to go out by yourself more, and just try to live in the moment. That's so cheesy, but it's true.
Hi first years from GCY Brazil. I hope you guys take this year and you learn a lot. Please guys, don't be afraid about learn Portuguese. It's the first thing that I advise you. Please work hard in your Portuguese, and then later don't be afraid about try things, go surf. Of course, ask duty first. Then hikes. You can do whatever you want, of course according to the rules. But guys, please do and try new things, because these 7 months you're going to fly, and when you see you're just getting back in that airplane, go to the States. So just please guys, work hard but also enjoy your time and get ready for the future.
Just a word to our first years. A lot of you might hear the advice to go for it, go do everything and say yes. But one of the things that I learned here is it's really important to chill and take some moments to reflect to yourself. Take some moments to relax and recuperate. There is a lot to do here and you have time. So go out and do everything you want to do, but also reflect and recuperate.
One other piece of advice that I'd like to add is something that was told to me by my team leader, love you Marcella, and that is don't be afraid to try new things this year. No one in your host community, and most likely your cohort as well, is going to know anything about you, so this is the perfect time to try out new hobbies, do different things, and try out new versions of yourself. You might find something that you enjoy doing or someone you enjoy being, and that can lead you to a new direction in life. Something else I'd like to add is also don't be afraid to embarrass yourself this year. I know that I lost out on a lot of amazing experiences, one of them being a close relationship with my host family, because I was too scared to make a fool of myself. And I look back on my gap year a lot and I regret it. So one thing that I'd like to say to you future fellows is don't be afraid to fail, don't be afraid to embarrass yourself. And worst case scenario, you do, and then you never have to see these people again in another 7 months if you don't want to. So don't be afraid to experience different things and go all out.
To all the future fellows, I think one of the biggest lessons I learned in Brazil that I wish I knew sooner was you're not going to have a perfect year, and you're going to mess up, you're going to fail, you're going to not speak Portuguese, you're going to say something stupid, you're probably going to curse somebody out by accident, and that's okay. All of that is okay. It's okay not to know, it's okay it's okay to be wrong, it's okay to mess up, and that's part of the year. And don't let that get you down in the dumps. I also think you're going to have weeks where it's bad weeks, you're going to have days where it's really bad days and you want to go home, and that's also perfectly normal. That's part of the process, is learning how to kind of dig yourself out of a slump and make yourself better. And you're going to be better for it, having those bad weeks. That's when you really learn to appreciate what this opportunity is. So it's okay, and be chill and don't freak out about it.